Good morning and welcome to the new edition of My Life Comments. Politicians and their consorts, spouses, wives, husbands, partners, whatever you may call them, are in the habit of spewing out moralities, absurdities, and promises that can assure you a utopia which can never be achieved. And very, very rarely does the word come across a politician or the spouse of a politician mouthing words that seem to be born of sincerity and are clear as far as the message is concerned. Very rarely does it happen that a politician is really, or a spouse of a politician is really concerned about the basic issues. We have heard people talk of the issues of nuclear disarmament. We have heard them talk of gender equality. These issues may be important, but the basic issue is the character of a person, the character of a nation, and the character of the coming generation. And unfortunately, in this day of neoliberalism, we forget the real values of life. And for us, what is more important is the filthy lucre, the money, the success. So yesterday, when FLOTUS, First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, in her lisping English, made a statement, created a program, I was really in raptures and I thought that this is a program that seems to come from the heart, which seems to be imbued with a desire to ensure that the future generations will not be bereft of the ideals, that they would not be treated as deplorable the way Hillary Clinton did describe them. Melania's accent was yesterday on building up the human beings, the character of the people, and the name of the program, BeBest. Now, when you say the best, you mean best in everything. Best in thought, best in action, best in words, best in speech, and best in action, in working. This essentially epitomizes the human values which have been given a goodbye in the recent past. FLOTUS, when she said, and I was really gratified to learn that what I had talked on Saturday, she took the lead on that. When I had said that there should be a competition, but competition with compassion, that's exactly what she said, that the best comes out of compassion, of competition. And the best becomes still better when competition is laced with compassion. This is what is real human empathy. She talked of the opioid crisis, which people have been talking about. She talked of other issues, which people have been talking about, but I am more concerned with building the base of a nation, the character of the youth, without in any way impinging on their desire to be competitive. Now that is being the best. Being the best does not mean only reaching the top with exploiting others and doing jobs that may not be in the best interest of the others. Self, that's important, and being the best signifies the development of self, whether they be in the job, in business, making money, or in intellectual abilities. all of them go to make a mess. But at the same time, the call for compassion makes them human beings. Now, being the best can be, as a matter of fact, variant of the various aspects. You can be best athlete, you can be best reader, you can be best leader, you can be best businessman, you can be best money lender, you can be best sweeper. But the main issue is not what your vocation is. The main issue is not what your occupation is, but the main issue is what you are as a human being. And here is where the program of Melania Trump trumps all other programs. When she says the best with compassion, and she took up another thing along with that, cyberbullying. Now, this was a wake-up call which we have been talking about various times. But from the Rose Garden of White House, when this call comes, this is a clarion call, it comes, then people should listen. People today do not know how their children are treating others and how they are being treated online. Offline, yes, they understand something. Online, they don't understand anything. They're ignorant, blissfully ignorant. And when cyberbullying causes death, when cyberbullying calls for depression, for alienation, for a sense of isolation, for a feeling of hurt and injury, then it hurts the psyche of the child especially. It will hurt anybody. But the child is much more exposed to the moods and the vagaries and is much more sensitive. He has still not developed the thick skin the adults have. And that is where the problem lies. And that is what is most important, that we as human beings fail to understand. That for a child, what we need is an atmosphere where he or she can grow and at the same time be in commune with others and with himself. You remember I was talking the other day on Saturday when I was talking about compassion, that Norway says that no children will be allowed to compete. They don't permit it. The competition starts only when you have crossed the teens. Now, when FLOTUS said that, number one, children should be treated with compassion and compassion should be taught to them. You cannot teach compassion, but one thing definitely FLOTUS said, which I appreciate, that do not act in a way whereby children become disillusioned with the concept of compassion. And if they become frustrated, if they become disillusioned, the result would be that they would be misfits in society. And that is something we should be wary of. Coming back to FLOTUS ideas, why is it important? This is important because for the first time, a political leader, not in her own right, but as a spouse of the president, she called for basic human values to be re-inculcated. She did not talk about divisive policies. She talked about inclusiveness. And we talk about inclusiveness without in any way trying to instill the same habit in the children. This is a difference, this is a departure from the norms that the politicians, the political leaders, the stakeholders of the society are doing. They talk at that level where even if they are clear, they do not go to the grassroots. You talk to a person, a society, a adult person about inclusiveness. about gender equality. You are not making some sense, because the psyche of the person at that time, the thought pattern of the person at that time, at that stage of life, is fully exploited, fully developed. He has developed, or she has developed, his prejudices and the favors. And that being so, all this talk is except sound and fury signifies nothing. But when you aim the same talk at the children, then you understand that what you are saying goes to the people for whom it's meant for. And another thing which I noticed about Melania when she was talking was that she was not preaching. She was speaking from the heart. And when a person is sincere, when a person is really concerned, then that is expressed in the look of the eye, in the quiver of the words and the sounds. And that's what I could feel the vibrations coming from the First Lady. Talked of authenticity and honesty of the purpose. Now, whether she's successful or not is something different. But for a president's lady to say that the next 7 years of her life would be dedicated to this job is something which is a departure from the normal. And today, anything which departs from the normal is to be welcomed. Because the normal has come to mean nasty, brutish, short. Normal has come to mean being selfish, being bloodthirsty, being venal. Normal has come to mean being regardless of the emotions of the others, be exclusive, be an exploiter. So hers was a departure from the normal. And this is a departure which characterized her being the best. Now again, the best does not mean excelling in one aspect. That you are the best student in the study, you are cramming, or you are the best calligraphy. But everything is an all-rounded organic development of personality that Melania was aiming at. And unfortunately, in this world of today, of the 21st century, we are no longer talking about the organic development of the human beings. We talk of them as mechanics, as engineers, as mathematicians, as physicists, as husbands, as wives, and so on and so forth. But do we talk of them as a Homo sapien? We do not. And that is where Melania steps in and talks about ensuring the kind, considerate, inclusive view, making the children empathetic, considerate, and sincere, not only towards others, but also towards themselves. Now, this is important. Honestly speaking, we are not honest to ourselves. You might be thinking that this is a topic which I should have discussed on Saturday. But today is a day when we discuss the politics and economy. And this politics, which ensures at making human beings better human beings, which aims at converting our children into paragons of the finest flowers of the mankind, is something which we cannot ignore. And honestly speaking, in case the program of Melania is implemented not only in USA, but it's needed all over the world, the fractured society that we have today needs to be unified. We have got to stop thinking in the terms of the religion, race, color, caste, creed, but talk only as human beings. I fail to understand that we are always able to differentiate, find the reasons for differentiation. Sometimes it's the color of the skin, sometimes it's the accent, the way you speak, sometimes it's the region from which you come off, sometimes it's your face and the features, sometimes it's the way you dress. But do we ever talk of the unifying factors? We do not. And Melania has given a clarion call that what we have got to do is to consider each individual as a part of the whole. And the whole would be fractured if that one part, one tiny, minuscule part, is damaged. Melania was very clear, and I echo her sentiments, saying that this is for the first time in the history of the world that somebody has come up to do something right. Right for the very base of the society, which stabilizes it and ultimately converts human society into a better society. And maybe things change for the better. Let's hope so. Thank you.